Hello everyone, today we are going a walk along the start of the Union Canal. Now, I say the start of the Union Canal because it's like 30 miles long and I'm not walking 30 miles because if I walk 30 miles I've got to walk 30 miles back and that's not happening. Now I have to admit, the Union Canal is not something I've ever walked along or journeyed along before. I did used to live at one point for about a year. I lived sort of close to it, within seeing distance. I could see it, and I think I took a slight run along it once. I say slight because I was very unfit, as I am now as well. Yeah, I don't really know it, so it's going to be nice to see what it's like in this part. It starts at Edinburgh and goes all the way to Falkirk. So it's a nice long journey if you ever fancy, you know, renting a bike or going on a boat or a barge or anything like that. All these things are possible. But we're going to start right here. So I'm in Fountain Bridge right now, and right in front of me, what I'm looking at is Edinburgh Quay, which is the start of the Edinburgh Union Canal. Now you can see there's a lot of work starting to go on, but this actually, we're going to go up the side here by this cafe. This will take us to literally the start of the canal, or end of it, depending on what way you're going. And this is it. This is the start, or the end, like I said, depending on what way you're going, of the Union Canal. And we're going to take a walk for at least a couple of miles. Before we get started though, you can see right by the canal here, there's a cafe, nice outdoor seating. Let's see what this says here. The Millennium Link project restored navigation coast to coast and city to city. The reopened canals are linking communities and acting as a catalyst for regeneration. The Forth and Clyde Canal was reopened to navigation in May 2001. The Falkirk Wheel and restored Union Canal were opened in May 2002. And here is a full map of it here, from Glasgow to Edinburgh. So from Edinburgh, going past Pentland Hills, Livingston, Broxburn, Union Canal all the way to Linlithgow and then to Falkirk, and then here is where the Union Canal joins onto the Forth and Clyde, which joins it to Glasgow. Now this was lost, this link, until the Falkirk Wheel came in, but we'll go a little bit more into that in a little while. Been that good this whole way. I could get to Glasgow if I wanted all the way along this. I mean, I'm not gonna, but I could. Definitely not walking all that way. So let's go on the Union Path. It's nice to see a couple of barges on there. It's not something that I'm familiar with, you know, going on canals and barges and things. It's not something I've ever done. And I've never been this route, so I don't know what we're going to see. I don't know how far we're going to walk today. If this walk turns out nice, it might be nice to continue it gradually and do it in parts and maybe walk all the way to the Falkirk Wheel, which I may regret saying. That feels like it's going to be a big project, but we'll see. I mean, it actually looks lovely already just to be on the start of it and see all these lovely barges just sitting at the side. Lovely. Got a kind of nice day for it today. I mean, look how lovely and still the water is. I mean, it's a little bit overcast, a little bit cloudy, but hopefully the rain will stay off as we walk. Okay, we will. We will call this a walk along the Union Canal part 1 with the hope to do more. Yeah? I should actually start my thing on my phone, so I should see how far I walk today. Look at this. Straight away, right at the beginning, there's this lovely barge cafe. That's really nice. Little cafe in the barge where you can sit and have a little coffee or tea. That's really cool. Right beside the Leamington Lift Bridge, which I don't know how these things work. So it's a bridge for the road. So the road must lift so that barges can get through here. I don't know the science. Not a bridge scientist. However, there is something on the wall here, so let's have a look at this. Leamington Lift Bridge, refurbishment works 2019. History of the structure. Oh, see, you know I love my old pictures. That doesn't look much different. Looks like it's essentially the same thing, just with a wee coat of paint and things. Buildings are definitely very different round about, but that's cool, that's cool. The Leamington Lift Bridge was constructed around 1906. Photo left, that's the photo we were just looking at, where Fountain Bridge crossed the canal, replacing a previous bridge built in 1869. When the canal was shortened in 1922 to make Lochran Basin the terminus, the bridge was moved to its present site to replace a wooden drawbridge photoed below. That must be that one there. Oh, interesting. As the main hydraulic bridge on the Union Canal. It lifts the road to give a clearance of 9 feet or 2.7 metres for boats to pass underneath. The bridge forms part of the increasingly popular Route 75 of the National Clyde network maintained by Sustrans. That's cool. Obviously we're not going to see it working today, but that's cool. So that part of the road there lifts to let the barges and things go underneath. That's cool. As we see more barges here, let's start to give you a little bit of history of the Union Canal. I have to say, although I don't know much about barges, these look lovely. So, a little bit of history. The Union Canal was conceived as an idea in 1793 because it's man-made. So someone went, we need some sort of way of getting coal and other minerals from Livingston and more of the west coast through to Edinburgh. So they came up with the idea of a canal. In 1817, Parliament went, yep, this is a great idea, let's do it. Look at these, look at these. Someone's in there hoovering. I can hear them with the hoover. And then in 1822 the Union Canal was opened. So 1817 they said, yeah, let's do it. I think 1818 work started, and in 1822 they'd built a 30-mile canal and it was open. So that's impressive for the time, really. I think that's impressive. I think that's impressive for now. Let's continue on with our history. So anyway, for about 100 years, the canal worked as it should do. It had obviously commercial traffic going up and down it, but it also had all the works traffic, coal and other minerals being brought along, because it did previously join the Forth and Clyde Canal to Edinburgh as well. So things could travel on boat or barge or whatever all the way from Glasgow to Edinburgh by water if they wanted to. I have to say, these houses here are lovely as well, by the canal, and all these newer buildings here as well. Oh, that's a high school. Wow, there's a high school beside the canal. That's cool. And actually, at the start here, just by Fountain Bridge, just after Boroughmuir High School, there is a Just Eat bike rental spot. So if you really wanted, you could rent one of these and then walk along the route that we're going to go, and then cycle back and put it back, because you download an app and you rent these bikes. They're all over town. You just download an app and rent it for, I'm not sure how long, I've never actually used it, and then bring it back. And look here, they've got outdoor gym equipment. So, you know, if you wanted, as you were taking a stroll, you could exercise for a bit. I mean, I suppose the walk itself is exercise, but still. However, by the time it hit to the 1930s, about 100 years afterwards, the traffic and things had started to decline. And unfortunately, the infrastructure and everything kind of went from the canal. The link, which was a lock flight that linked the Union Canal with the Forth and Clyde Canal, that was closed down essentially. So that link between Edinburgh and Glasgow was gone by water. And then in 1965, the Union Canal was officially closed. It is funny at these different times, and you see it a lot in Edinburgh as well, when the internal rail system and things was all shut down. 60s, 70s, a lot of these internal infrastructure things were closed down, and now we're looking at wanting them back, because actually they were great. They really worked. Anyway, the Union Canal's back. Let's get back to the history. I seem to be rambling on again. I've not done that for a while. It's nice to be back at it. As we continue our journey along the canal here, in 2001, the canal was reopened as part of an £83.5 million Millennium Link. and this was the largest canal restoration anywhere in Britain to get all of this back up and running. And in 2002, the Falkirk Wheel was built and opened, and that officially relinked, if that's a word, the Union Canal with the Forth and Clyde Canal for the first time in 70 years. I'm sure there's a lot more interesting history facts along the way there about how all this happened, but for now, that's a brief history of how the Union Canal was built, broken and rebuilt. Look at all these lovely houses looking out over the canal. Isn't that nice? It's funny, these newer buildings with the older buildings beside them as well on either side of the river. Canal, sorry. It's very peaceful. It's very busy. There's a lot of cyclists, a lot of people walking. Obviously I'm not seeing any traffic on the canal, but it is a lovely and peaceful walk so far. And I've only walked about half a kilometre. This is beautiful and peaceful. It's difficult to remember that I'm in the middle of the city still. How far have I walked? Not far. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at my run keeper. 8.4 of a kilometre. Not even a mile. Not even half a mile. Well, half a mile. And you know me, I love my old buildings. And it's difficult, I don't know, I think probably the more, if I do decide to continue this journey along, I'm sure I will discover more old buildings as we go. Imagine just living here with the canal, say 120 years ago, and you'd just be here watching the barges go up and down with the coal and whatever else was needing to be transported. It's nice, it's lovely and calming. Can you believe that I'm still in the heart of the city, really? And as you look about, I can just see a chimney up there, some buildings behind, but truthfully, it's quiet. There's not really very many people around about me. Every now and again there's some joggers or cyclist or someone, but for the most part, essentially my own wild thistles. It's lovely. This was a good idea. This was one of my ideas. Mrs. Broonford's came up with some good ideas recently, but this is one of mine. That feels right, you know what I mean? Seeing an old church steeple towering above, that feels historic. So just in case anyone's tracking, I've walked from the start, the Edinburgh Quay, to welcome to Harrison Park. That's how far I've walked so far. Not even a mile yet. Definitely, if you get a chance, if you don't mind, if you're looking for a nice relaxing walk, this is definitely something to add onto your list. Again, like I said, I don't know the rules of barging or living on the water or anything like that, but that to me looks like, you know, a barge stop. I wonder if there's essentially a barge bus that goes up and down that you can get along. That would be cool. You know, maybe my old cobbled roads and stones. Oh, I'm thinking that must be original. Yeah? That must be original. Noah's Ark. That's funny. I can see there's a park here for kids to play. Nice views over to what I'm guessing is round about where Edinburgh Zoo is. I mean, away in the distance, but roughly over that way. This really is so peaceful and lovely. I mean, by no means would you need to come and walk all the way to Falkirk, but you could easily start at the quay, walk a mile down and a mile back, or a couple of miles down. It'd be lovely and relaxing, and stop and have a seat or sit on the barge and I feel like I want to sing Sitting on the Dock of the Bay, but it's completely the wrong song. I don't know any barge songs. I don't know canal songs or anything like that. If anyone can think of a canal song for me, then let me know, and if we do continue this, I'll sing a canal song. I'm a mile and a half maybe out from the dead centre of town. This is beautiful. This is lovely. If you came down here on a sunny day and just took your time, maybe walk a mile, 2 miles down, a mile, 2 miles back, I would just give you a break from the centre and the hubbub of town. And plus it's good to get out of the centre of town. It's good to explore the whole of the city. And that's what these places are for, you know what I mean? And it's lovely. I love it. Oh yeah, I love it. That's us came just over 2 kilometres. We're coming up for sort of Craig Lockhart area of Edinburgh. I think we'll call it there for now. We'll possibly come and start this again at some point. But just to show you, I'm going to start my journey back now because I've got to go back the 2 kilometres I've already walked. So just to show you that if you come into town and you fancy just getting out of the heart of town, getting out of the busyness, and you just want to feel like you're a little bit out in the centre of the country, but you know, you don't have the facilities to get out there, you don't have a car, you don't have the time to take a bus, even though the bus would probably only be 50 minutes out of town, you're in the country. But if you want to stay fairly local, because if you started to walk this and you didn't feel well, or you know, you were like, you know what, I really want to just get home, you could just jump off and get a bus as if by magic as it goes past. So it's a nice way to get a little bit of fresh air, feel a little bit out of the hubbub, but at the same time still be in the middle of civilization, sort of, so to speak. So yeah, so there you have it, the Union Canal, or at least the first 2k of the Union Canal. I hope you've enjoyed that, guys. If you have, please remember, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, and if you haven't already, please remember to subscribe to the channel. You've no idea how much it means to me. We're coming up on 8,000 subscribers, which is mind-blowing to me. I know we're just a small channel, but 8,000 is an incredible amount to me. Railway lines there, you could stand here and watch the trains. You could go train spotting in Edinburgh. Anyway, like I said, like, share, subscribe. Until next time, bye humans.